Let's take a look at the impact of the war on the buyers and sellers of Tesla stock, the Dow Jones Stock Index, SPX, Nasdaq, Russell. So Tesla closed at 316.35, down $12.78, 3.88%. Post-market, we seem to be down by an additional $1.20. So let's look at where we are at. The chart is the fact. Everything else is conjecture. You can say because of the war, the stock is going to go down. Maybe yes, maybe no. There is only a correlation between news and stock movement. There is only a correlation between fundamentals, company data, and stock movement. Yes, sometimes it works well, but there's only a correlation. What makes a stock move up or move down is the tug of war between the buyers and sellers. The tug of war between the buyers and sellers. So more people that want to buy than people that want to sell, the stock price is going to go higher. And this is what we are studying. This is the fact. This is the end result of everything that's happening in the world. We see the end result right here. This is like a big survey. If you were to send out a survey to people that might want to buy a Tesla share and to people that might want to sell a Tesla share, you would have the same information, but it would be so hard to compile. You would have a delay between when you sent the survey and when you get the results and how you compile the results. This is being compiled in real time. How many people are willing to buy Tesla stock and at what price? This is super interesting information. This is so rich. And because it is so rich, we find patterns that are happening. So what did happen today? So we are down $12. What is happening to our downward trend? We were into a downward channel right here. We got outside of it yesterday. This was good news. We were no longer going down. We started to go sideways. So yesterday, based on fact, we could say that Tesla stock does not show the negative impact of the war because we became outside of this downward channel. So we deal with facts. You could say we knew that this would be going down. Well, if you knew, you took a short and you made money. So yesterday, we went outside of the bearish channel into a congestion zone. What did happen today? Let's take a closer look at the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour chart right here, the first candle of the day is this one right here. So on the first hour of the day, we opened lower than 326.34. This was not the super good news in itself. We lost at the same time after that candle, Stochastic over 60. Each time we lose Stochastic over 60, you need to think short. Maybe it's not the time to short. Maybe the trigger is not there. But when you see Stochastic below 60 anywhere on any stock, let's take CUD on the daily chart. Look at this. Stochastic below 60, when was that? Right here. Not too bad. What did happen? Boom, boom, we have the move down. Then it went up a little bit. We got Stochastic back. Then we lost it again. Boom, boom. So you see, this is a really good indicator. This is free. I don't make any money on that indicator. Yes, I picked this example right here. Some other examples are not that clear. So this is why you need me. This is why you need to watch every day. I'm sorry, but at least it's free. So some examples are not that clear. See, here in Tesla, in March, Stochastic was iffy. Above, below, above, below. A little bit above with this candle right here, then below, and yes, it came down. Then it went above, then it did this, then it went below and it did this. So sometimes it gets a little bit choppy. This is why we are combining this indicator with our trend lines, which you can get for a specific price. You can copy my trend lines for all these stocks. You can copy them into your TradingView account. But yeah, so Stochastic. So this was just a small masterclass on Stochastic. If it is over 60, you need to think up. below 60, you need to think down. So after the first hour, Stochastic became below 60, so we needed to start to think down. Then what was the trigger? Was there a trigger? It's always, you can buy at any point and you can sell at any point in the stock market and you might be okay. But if you want to maximize the chances that your transaction or your trade or your investment works, you need to have a trigger. What is a trigger? A trigger is a pattern that's happening and then a change in pattern. So that's a trigger, because things were this way and then things became another way. So something changed. So that's our trigger. There's a change. So we can act at the beginning of the change instead of acting at any point in time when there's no change and wasting time. So the trigger that we identified in the Discord server, which is not free, but the trigger that we had identified, but I think I said it right here on my video yesterday. I said, if we break lower than 322.74, this is not going to be good, because this is the congestion zone that we were in yesterday. So the trigger was closing below 322.74 or going higher than 331.40. So this could have been a trigger this way or a trigger that way. The first candle did not give us that much of a trigger because we just started to rest on the support at 322.74. We rested on support. Boom. Went a little bit lower but closed above. So this is rested above. We closed above, so we were above. So we rested on it. We could have gone back to 331 and zigzag. This is what the congestion zone is. I don't personally, my style is not to buy when things go on support. It can work, and it works. Sometimes it works. But what I prefer doing is that going into a lower time frame to find a pattern that is going to tell me that yes, it really wants to go up, because we can go on support just to stop there for one candle and continue. And this is exactly what happened today. So again, the first hour of the day, we closed here above. So we could not conclude anything. Yes, Stochastic was below 60. This was not looking good. It was not looking good, but there was no trigger. The trigger happened after the second candle. So the second candle happened, boom. So now we closed lower than 322.74. So this was the trigger. So the buy signal on the 1 hour chart for people that want to play intraday, not investors. Investors don't want to play that much, and that's fine. We are going to talk about you in a few minutes. So now I'm speaking, each time I'm going on the 1 hour chart, I'm speaking to the traders. When I go on the daily chart, I'm speaking to the trend aware investors. So investors that believe in Tesla, but don't want to hold a stock when it goes down for a significant amount of time. So now I'm talking to the traders. So the traders, once we had this candle down, closed, it finished, then this was the entry. So the entry was right here. The stop loss was just a little bit higher here. And then once you set that up, you just let it play. And then it went sideways and then started to go down. Had a little bit of a move up. Now with this wick here, we seem to think that it failed to go higher, and most likely, and if we look at the post market, we are at 315, so we could be opening right here and maybe lower. So intraday traders can just take profit right here and not wait overnight, because we don't know what's going to happen overnight. So it's fine to take profit here or take part of the profit here and keep some of it to see where it's gonna go. And where should it go? It should continue down to the next level of support. I see somebody talking about 313. That's the next level of support, 313. So we should be going there. We didn't go there, and I find this really fascinating, actually. I do this because I love it, because I believe in this and because it really works. So what is interesting is that I've been talking to you about this downward bearish channel. These are synonyms that we went outside yesterday a little bit. Now, look at this. Today, as I said, we started going down. Boom. We stopped right smack on that support. I cannot make this up. Look at my lines I drew yesterday. This is the same line. It just stops. So this bearish channel resistance, it was resistance right here because it was resisting the price. Now it's supporting the price. This always works. If you draw your line correctly, resisting then becomes support. And look at this, anywhere, resisting, supporting. I can do this for 3 hours straight. Resisting, supporting. I can do this anywhere. Here, resisting, supporting for a couple of candles. Okay, so this is a rabbit hole. I'm going to stop. Let me regroup. Thank you for being patient. So where are we at? So this is why we didn't go fast to 313, because we had something in the way. We had the support in the way. So next stop should be 313.13. No stochastic. So the stochastic is not climbing any higher. DMI is also confirming. This is red. And the last indicator at the bottom, this is a custom indicator that I created myself. We see how Tesla performed compared to Standards and Poor's. So we are underperforming Standards and Poor's. Standard and Poor's, we are going to look at it in a few minutes, has gone down today by 0.8%, Tesla 0.3%. So Tesla is now underperforming S&P 500. So this is interesting to see how far Tesla goes against or with the movement of S&P. Yeah. So right now, the bias for tomorrow, the bias is, this is a support, we should be bouncing on it. So this is the bias. We are going to check if it's true by going into a lower time frame, lower than the 1 hour chart, to see if it does a pattern and goes up. Or if it continues, then this is going to be a further short. There's no stochastic. We need to think short, and that break below 313.13. I see this in the comment. So some people say we hope that it stays above. I don't care what the stock does. I just want it to move. If it moves down fast, I love it. If it goes up fast, I love it too. There's ways of making money both ways. Yeah, tomorrow, if we open lower than 313, wait for the first hour candle to complete just to make sure that things are okay. And yeah, that would be the plan. So now, if I speak now to the trend-aware investors that like to build wealth by investing in companies you believe in, but avoid buying at peaks. Buying at peaks is really bad. Or riding losses blindly, that's also really bad. And with Tesla, it can get super bad from 400 bucks to 100 bucks. That's quite bad. Even though it recuperates after, accumulate, don't recuperate. Sell when we see some weakness. For the trend-aware investor, what should you do? What should you do? That's the big question. What should you do if you are in Tesla right now? So Tesla is on the daily chart. We don't have stochastic over 60. So that should tell you something. That should tell you that this is not looking good. That's your first reaction. You should go, now that you know about the 21-day stochastic, you should say, this is not looking good. So how far down am I willing to lose money on paper? So that's not my decision to make. It's your decision to make. But I can guide you a little bit. I can tell you that here we have a little bit of a bullish channel for Tesla. So since March, Tesla has been going up. Yes. Since May, it has been going down. Depends on the time frame you are looking at. But since March, it has been going up. So it could come back down to that support right here. So if it goes down to that support, we are talking about 300 bucks. So if you can suffer Tesla going from 316 today down to $300, then you can just wait and see. Because who knows if the war with Iran is going to end tonight, in 2 days, in 3 weeks, in 3 years. Nobody knows. They can get an agreement. It could happen overnight. Nobody knows. So if you are willing to suffer down to $300, you could do that. And then possibly the stock is going to bounce on that support, which it is supposed to do. A pattern works by repeating the same thing. We are bouncing. So we have bounced twice now. We should be bouncing a third time. It's not guaranteed, but we should. So if you don't want to buy and sell all the time because you are a trend-aware investor and you don't want to trade Tesla, you just want to sell when, sell when things are significantly going bad, then you could sell when we are going to go past that bullish channel support. And once a stock gets outside of a channel, a bullish channel, a bearish channel, when a stock goes outside of a channel, we give it a second chance. We give it a second chance to go sideways, and that second chance I would give it at 295. So yeah, if it goes through 300, this is a nice round number. It could bounce on that. If it goes through 300, I would not readily conclude that all hell is going to break loose. I would conclude that after 295 right here. Why 295? This is not something I'm picking out of my pocket. We stopped at 295 right here in August of 2023. We stopped at 295 right here in March of 2022. So you see, and we used 295 as support a bunch of times too. So 295 is a very important number in the psyche of Tesla investors, the trend-aware investors. The investors, they don't have much clue about that because they only care about the company. But when you are buying shares, you are not only buying a share in the company, you are buying a stock that can go down with buyers and sellers' emotions. So you are buying something that react to emotions, react to fads, react to Elon's tweets. You are buying something that is not just a piece of the company. You are buying something that increases in value and decreases in value based on people's perceptions of Elon, of Tesla, of the competition, of the economy and everything. So you are buying something volatile. You're buying something that's quite volatile. So 295, this is where I would draw the line because of what happened in the past. So that's what I would say to a trend-aware investor. You can hold it if you can suffer it. If you don't want to suffer it, then that's another question. But if you can suffer it, suffering after 295 then becomes really hard. Also because we are still into a bigger downward channel. So Tesla made a big top in December 2024, a big top. This was a nice ride that we took. It went super high, super fast. Lots of money was made and kept not the top. It's impossible to keep the top unless you are lucky. But we kept a good portion of it. Tesla has been trending down since that time, since December of last year. So we are still trending down. That needs to be taken into consideration. So the bigger trend is Tesla is going down. Smaller trend is that it's going up. And even smaller trend is that it's going down within the bigger trend of going down. So after 295, then I would not be surprised that we go back to 245 right here. If it happens a little bit later, then this is going to be 250. Depending on how fast we go, this is the line that we should be resting on. Because this is the pattern, we are bouncing on that line. So we should be bouncing again if we break 295. If we don't break 295, then we don't have to worry about that destination. Okay, so that's it for Tesla. Let's take a look at the VIX and the rest of the markets. VIX climbing higher. That's not good news. When the VIX goes higher than 20, we should also start thinking about down. Yesterday we were at 19. It came back down yesterday. So yesterday gave us a sense that maybe things were cooling off. They cooled off a little bit, but now they are back at it again. So VIX is at 21.59, up 2.47. This is not looking good. We are looking at this on the 1 hour chart. So we see that we are into a congestion zone right here. If we start to go higher than 22, this is going to be worse. If we go lower than 1849, this is going to be better. In between, we are pretty much zigzagging, noise. This is pretty much noise. This is a signal, this is a signal. So that's for the VIX. So the VIX is not trending in the right direction. It's trending higher. So when the VIX trends higher, stock market, let's take a look at the overall stock market before looking at the stock indices. Yeah, look at this, red. So when the VIX goes up, we see a lot more red. Then let's look at Dow Jones, down a little bit today. We can still consider this noise. Once we break the support at 41,826, this won't be noise anymore. This is going to be a big move down, a shorting opportunity. Look at Stochastic. See, is it big enough? So Stochastic right here, we had a zigzag yesterday, but today we are at 48. So we are starting to lose Stochastic. Again, the same thing. Losing Stochastic, we should start thinking short, but there's no trigger yet. The trigger is going to be this. S&P 500, we still have Stochastic. Okay, so let's not think about shorting yet. Stochastic is still good. We are above 59.66. We are above support. All is good. NASDAQ, Stochastic is still there. All is good. We are above support. Russell. So we have two stock indices that are still showing things are okay. We have Dow Jones, which is starting to have a Stochastic below 60. Still above support, still no trigger. So, it's not yet the time. So, things are happening. Sometimes things are happening all of a sudden. Oftentimes, we see things happening slowly. Whoops, there's something slowing down. So we are seeing some of these effects, but we don't have the trigger to act. So we don't have to act. And look at Russell. So Russell back into its congestion zone, losing Stochastic also. So this is not a trigger. This is just zigzagging, but the zigzag should be going down to 2000 soon because Stochastic is not there. So this tends to show us that we are going lower. Yeah, there it is. We have important numbers to look at on the 1 hour chart. We can continue the discussion on Discord during the day if you become a member of this channel. If not, I still do every day to guide you as to where things are happening. And on Discord also, I am guiding other people regarding all the other great stocks: Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, Palantir, SoFi, Cisco, and everything. So for free, you get some value, and as a member, you get a little bit more value. This is how the world works. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link also. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.